welcome. It's your girl Jules, and this is Ann, and welcome to our channel. So we are very excited because today is episode 1 of Romance is Dead. This is going to be a series on our channel. It is for your entertainment only. It should be funny, it should be interesting, and yeah, I'm gonna let Anthony explain how this the series is gonna go.
Wow, yeah, I should have wrote a script now that I'm thinking about it, but how the series is gonna go, I think, how would you describe this? Kind of like a comedy romance podcast style?
Yeah, definitely. So. But what I actually meant was that how the show is going to go is we're going to go through 3 different segments.
Oh, well, I was going to get there. I wanted to explain what the show was. This is episode 1. They don't know. So I will continue.
Well, now you guys know.
For Romance is Dead, like I said, we're going to be doing 3 different segments. The first segment will be Would You Rather? Mm-hmm. Every week we'll have, 3 to 5 Would You Rather questions that we'll have to answer. And you could send those in the comments, or we will be setting up an email and they could just send it to us directly. Right. Obviously, these have to be clean Would You Rather, so...
Right.
Nothing crazy.
Yes. If you guys have any ideas or any part of the segment that you guys want to hear about, make sure you comment below and let us know, because we will actually be looking at the comments and putting them in. Like you said, you kind of have to keep it PG-13 out here because we do not want to get demonetized.
True.
But yeah, definitely.
So first segment would be Would You Rather. Second segment is going to be relationship advice, and that is where the relationship and tips and I guess tricks and how to have a long, healthy relationship comes in. And then we will be finishing up with a draft, you could call it. So every week we will have one question and we have to choose our top 3 picks for that draft. We could steal each other's picks, and
right.
It's going to be a little confusing when I say this. If you've played fantasy football or something like that, you will know exactly what I mean. However, this will this will be fun. Trust me. You guys will have to wait to see that. So let's start. So this week we have 3 Would You Rather questions. I'll ask it, and then both of us could just kind of answer it and see how it goes. This is meant to be funny. There's no competition in this. The competition comes later on in the draft.
Right.
So the first Would You Rather is: would you rather live 1 life or live 10 lives that last 100 years?
Sorry. Would you rather live 1 life for 1,000 years, or would you rather live 10 lives that last 100 years each?
Okay. That was not written.
I wrote on the board wrong.
That was not written correctly. Whoops. Sorry for the confusion. I guess I'll go first, because this one is kind of easy to me. When you ask this, is it our life right now? Would we rather live this 1,000 years or 10 different lives?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I personally would have to go with live this life for 1,000 years. I love my life. I love the things I'm doing, and I don't know. You could start over and just be in a crappy position,
That's true. I think I probably would pick 1,000 years only because... is like he was saying, I don't want to go through being a child again, then being a teenager. I guess you could kind of create yourself, and you could be maybe in one life you're really successful, but then in the next life you could be you could be homeless on the street. So, I mean, I don't know.
For 100 years.
Yeah, for 100 years is a long time. Well, it's actually not that long.
You know what else? You don't realize when you're living the 10 different lives, I'm pretty sure you don't realize you have another 8 left or 7 left.
Oh, so you're saying, you forget your whole other life?
Yeah,
what if you remember it, though?
If you remember, that might be... Because, if I'm living homeless for half my life, you could just be...
You were I was a billionaire in my last life.
Or you could be this life sucks, I'm just going to become a master criminal.
That would be dangerous.
I mean, if I'm only living this 1 life, if I become a criminal now, that lasts for my next 1,000 years. Everyone knows I was a criminal. If I have 10 different lives, I could become super criminal and then just be this life I'm going to be a good guy.
Why is that your first thought, though?
You know what? I don't know.
He's look at all the bad things I can do, and it could just be erased.
I might change it now that I think about it.
If there's a purge, guys, run.
Nah, if I could remember that I have another like 6 or 7 lives left, I would choose the 10 different lives. If I don't remember, I'm sticking with my one life knowing I have 1,000 years to figure something out.
Yeah, I pick 1,000 years, 100%. So.
Yeah. Well, good job.
All right, guys, we got the next one. It would be, would you rather look 10 years older from the neck down or from the neck up? That's hard.
I'm going to say, I feel like I've always looked a little bit older from the neck up. I think I've always looked a little bit older. So if I look even older than I do now, that's just going to be, oh, that's not fun, you know?
Imagine having your face, though, with, like, just an old body.
It's only 10 years older. What's that, 37? Like, I feel like, all right, this is where I'm getting at. Bodies, you could kind of shape by how you eat and how you work out.
That's true.
Faces, once 10 years go by, no matter how many times I smile, my face is going to get younger looking, you know? Like,
that's really true.
Yeah, so
that's actually true.
I'm going to go with, I would rather have 10 years from the waist down. Oh, no, neck down. Yeah, that's where I'm going to go.
100%. I think I would definitely pick from the neck up as well because the face is the moneymaker. It's like the first thing you look at.
You want to live 10 years? You want to look 10 years older from the neck up?
Yeah.
You want to look 10 years older?
No, I mean, I want to... No. Oh, wait. Now I confused myself.
You want to look 10 years older from the neck down?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, guys. I confused myself. Excuse me. Yeah, I would definitely like to preserve my face. You know, keep the age that I am and not look older than I already am. Like, I feel like that's the first thing people look at is your face. So
True.
If that looks older, I just feel like then people start treating you different. Like he said, you could change your body, you could be in shape, but if you have if you look 10 years older, I don't know, it just...
What about would you rather, for the rest of your life, look like you have a 30, 40-year-old face when you get to those ages, and then you don't really age anymore after 40? Or would you rather always have a super physique? Like, you could be like 70 years old, but your body is amazing. It's to your liking.
I still pick the face.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you don't care if, like, you could eat whatever you want or anything?
Yeah, I'd just still rather have a nicer face.
I might choose the body in that scenario, because... I'm gonna look old. I'm gonna gain age eventually, you know? Like, when I'm 70, I don't care if I look 70, but if I'm ripped, imagine going to the club as a 70-year-old just ripped. Just going to the gym like, oh, that's what you push, young man? Like...
Oh, jeez. Okay, so the next one would be, would you rather have a head the size of a tennis ball or the size of a watermelon?
Oh, I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Well, I have a pretty big head already. I think I'd go with the huge head.
Watermelon's pretty big.
Yeah, but it's like, then otherwise you have like a tiny... Your head is this tiny. What are you going to do with that?
There's literally certain clothes you can't wear with a watermelon head. Like, you won't be able to fit in t-shirts.
And you could probably suffocate with a hat.
Suffocate?
Yeah.
If I have a watermelon head?
No, if you have a tennis head.
How? Like, it sits on your head?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yo, could you imagine bending over to pick something up with a watermelon on your head? Like, you would just fall. It would be weeble wobble 24/7.
Can you imagine having eyes the size of my fingernail? And you can barely see anything?
That's just a lose-lose. I feel like the other ones were positive. This one just... It's not funny.
My lips would literally be like half your face if you're a tennis ball.
I guess I'll go watermelon, but I feel like there's not a benefit to either or. So yeah,
that's not what I want.
I'll stick with watermelon. You know, maybe hopefully my brain increases as well. There's the positive in it, you know?
That's true. If you have a tennis ball head, your brain is so small.
It's easy to think of the worst things with the tennis ball, but I'm trying to think of the positives, and it's just hard to think of any positive. Like, maybe if you're a boxer, like, you know, people can't really hit you in the head. That's like the only...
I don't know. Imagine, like, someone goes to give you a high five, and they miss, and they hit your face. Like,
just knock you out.
You just like out cold from like a little slap to the face.
Oh man.
You could get worked as a tennis ball head. At least with the melon head, you could like use that as a weapon, like whoosh.
Yeah, no, I guess you're right. Watermelon it is.
I mean, you're like this all day probably, but
I truly can't think of the benefits of a tennis ball head. Oh, you never have to like, if you wear necklaces, you never have to like unbuckle them and just throw them around.
I'll never get makeup on my shirt. Only girls know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you guys could think of some positives for the tennis ball head, let me know, but I can't.
All right, guys. So we're going to move on to the next segment, and that is our relationship advice section. So our topic for today is name top 3 characteristics that we think is the most important in a relationship. So we're going to both name 3 each, and then you guys can comment below and let us know what you guys think is the most important in a relationship.
Yeah, no, I mean, this one's pretty opinionated, I think. You know, there's a lot of times we could say relationship advice, and I mean, it's always going to be opinionated, but this one really just comes down to what you guys like, you know, what's important to you guys. But I mean, we could just name the 3 each that we think, you know, and we'll see.
I feel like there's definitely some universal ones. I think like kind of as a whole, like a lot of people reach for it, but I think it depends on who you are as a person. Just so you guys know, we basically picked the same ones. Like we wrote them down earlier and we realized we picked the exact same ones. So I guess we could just talk about it together.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
In the future, hopefully we don't pick the same ones. This one was just way too simple.
This one definitely. I feel like when it comes to relationship advice and things and we believe in, we're very similar in our beliefs. So we're like opposites, but when it comes to these kind of things, we're very similar.
So the first one that I wrote down, and I guess you wrote down, was communication.
Yeah, I definitely think that communication is 100% the most important thing to any relationship. I would put it on like the top tier of having a healthy relationship. I mean, good communication skills are important in general, honestly, but to have them in a relationship, I think that can like really make or break your relationship, or not even make or break, just make your relationship better. It's like you can't expect someone to know what you're thinking, you know, like.
That's true. Yeah.
I hate that.
With communication, like it's not only about saying how you feel and everything, but it's also could be just understanding how the other person feels, you know. Some people just aren't good at communicating, and if maybe that's a skill you have, it will help the other person come out of their shell and, you know, give their feelings, and then you could really build upon that.
Yeah, it's basically like I feel like when you communicate, it just makes things so much easier, you know, like you just get things out in the air and out in the open, and you could tell someone what you want and what you expect out of them. And I just don't like playing like that game of like expecting someone to know how I feel, or expecting someone to know when they hurt my feelings, or expecting to know like how they feel, you know, like I'd rather someone tell me and maybe it does sting for a second. I mean, obviously if it does hurt my feelings, but I know, so it's out in the air, it's out and open, and you can get like past it. Because if I don't know what you're feeling or how you're feeling or how he's feeling, I can't change it, you know, or I can't like compromise with him. So I think that's like the number one, especially in our relationship. We communicate all the time. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, we get a little immature, but for the most part, I feel like we're pretty good at telling each other when we hurt each other's feelings, you know. You
mentioned that in your speech before was speech. You mentioned that before when you were saying you know, you're not playing games and everything, and I feel like that's maybe more important for the younger crowd, because nowadays I feel like it's always like tit for tat, like, oh, well, you did this to me, so now I'm going to do this to you. Or I did this, and now you're going to, you know, raise the level by 100. Basically, oh, well, you didn't respond to me for an hour, now I'm not going to respond to you for 3 days or something crazy, you know?
It's like,
Just talk, guys. Like,
Yeah.
that makes life so much easier.
As-
Just tell people how you feel.
As far as the way that I look at it, it's like, does it make your life harder or worse? Like, does you ignoring that person for an hour maybe feels like good for that hour, but you know, like afterwards, it's going to cause more issues. And also the way you communicate to someone is really important too, you know, not to actually listen to somebody. It's just important. So
Moving on, the second was trust.
yeah, 100% trust. Yeah.
So that, I mean, this could be 1B if you say, because like trust comes with communication, you know? I mean,
yeah, 100%.
I feel like if you guys aren't speaking, telling each other how you feel, explaining your thoughts, explaining who you are, and learning from each other, like, you're never gonna have trust. And trust could be such a poison in a relationship, you know? If you don't have it, you guys are never gonna be able to grow.
Yeah, it's definitely like a really hard hurdle if you don't have that trust. I never have to worry about like, I mean, besides like obviously, you know, like the whole like cheating aspects, like I never have to worry about that. I always know everything that he's doing.
Yeah.
One, because he's predictable, but two, it's just because
True.
I trust in the things that he does. I know he always tells me everything. You know, if I know and he misses my call, I basically know the reasons of why he's basically missed my call or he ignored my call. It's because he's doing something, he's at work, you know? So it's like, I never have to worry about like that kind of trust. And honestly, I don't personally think anybody should have to worry about that. But there's also trust in other little things, you know, like telling white little lies, you know, even in little things that you don't think that matters. And I know personally, I was in my previous relationships, I was very used to doing those white lies. And that got me a little bit in trouble in the beginning of our relationship. Wow. So, you know, it's just better to tell the truth, you know, about finances, about everything. You just need to let it out. Yeah, it's not just about like, you know, trust and, you know, jealousy and related to that. It's just trust in general, just, you know, being honest about things that are not so much fun to be honest about sometimes.
I'm glad you brought that up also.
Sometimes it could be painful.
I'm glad you brought that up also because when you think about trust, usually it's like, oh, is this person cheating on me? Or do I trust him to go out or trust her to do this? But you're right, like something as simple as like, are you telling the truth about like your finances? Are you telling the truth about other aspects of your life? That could be a huge deal breaker, you know? Something so simple as like finances could really break. And
I think it breaks a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's like the ruiner of relationships. Not the ruiner, but it can definitely
it's a big factor, especially as you get older. The other thing about trust, just not to blow this part off, is it's not going to come in every relationship right away. It's going to take time. You know, we've been together close to 6 years, and even though we have amazing trust, it wasn't like we just met and we're like, oh, I trust you 100%.
No.
You know, like, you'll do everything for me perfectly. Like, it doesn't happen like that. It's going to take time, and I mean, you could definitely work on it through communication, being truthful, and actually not doing shady stuff. But don't lie. Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of time.
Don't lie.
But that will be the most important thing.
It's better to tell the truth and deal with like the consequences of telling the truth. You know, dealing with a bad reaction from like your boyfriend or your girlfriend. It's easier to deal with that than to deal with like all of the backlash of now knowing that you've been hiding something from them. That's just gonna cause so many more problems in the future. It's insane. So, and like you said, it's something you build.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's something you build, definitely. We did not have perfect trust in the beginning, so, and it definitely was broken down, then brought back up, broken down and brought back up. So we're not perfect, but definitely that's on our high priority list, and we try to be as honest with each other as possible. So
yeah, I remember someone told me once, like, similar, and I'm sure other people have heard this, but they were like, you know, if you drop a glass on the floor, you could put it back together and you could glue it, you could make it the same shape, but like the glass is always broken. And that's almost like trust. Like once you make that major lie or you do that major trust issue, it's going to take a long time to not only repair that, but that will always be in someone's head, you know, that'll always be there. Like, hey, you broke my trust, you know? So
just so you guys know, there's going to be a lot more analogies to come.
Yeah.
This is
Stay
like
around.
King of analogies over here. So the last one that we have on our list is really important to you, as well as communication trust, but it's your values. So I think that you have to have very similar values in life. If you don't have similar core values, I honestly don't think you could be together for very long. Like, to me, if it's going to be like someone you're with for a very long time, or like your life partner, to me, there's no way that you could be together without similar values. And that's like in so many different things. Like, that's in if you want to have kids, if you want to get married, just like, I mean, it ties into communication, because you have to communicate those things. But especially as you're getting older, I mean, I'm 28, I'm going to be going on to 29, so I'm not playing games here, guys. Now, I'm just joking, but it's important for me to know. We've been together for 6 years. I mean, if he told me, hey, I don't want to have kids, and I want to have kids,
that's a big issue.
That's a big issue, you know, because that I could become really resentful, or there has to be, or I have to basically give up that dream, and maybe I don't want to give up that dream. So I don't know, that could also break relationships too. So you definitely have to have good values. What do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, the one reason why values isn't, I believe, higher on the list is just for the fact that this is going to really come out deeper into the relationship.
Yeah.
You know, if you're just dating around or just meeting people, I'm not going to meet someone and be like, hey, how many kids do you want? 10?
Yeah.
I only want one. Sorry, we can't. Like that.
Yeah.
That comes with time. But
yeah,
I think this personally is the biggest factor between marrying someone and being with them for the rest of your life, or dating someone for a few years and being like, we're not gonna make it.
Right.
So I mean, obviously the other two, I feel like they're stronger for shorter relationships. And as you start to build the other two, the communication and the trust, then you really have to realize, like, hey, what are your values? You know, like,
yeah.
do you, like, one of my values I could say is I want to travel. Like, that's always been a priority of mine, and there was no one or nothing that was going to stop me from traveling, and I've done it. I mean, you could kind of see I don't know if they could see our wall, but we have tons of little postcards from different places we go to, and it's like, if you wanted to stay in New York for the rest of your life, that would be difficult. And we've even crossed that bridge at one time.
We've definitely, I mean, guys, we are not, I'm telling you, we are not a perfect relationship. I mean, I think we have a pretty good relationship, my personal opinion, but it's definitely, we've crossed bridges where we're deciding, like, what are we going to compromise on, what are we not going to compromise on. And the thing about values, guys, is that we as humans, we change, we evolve, we change as a person. Some people don't change, other people do change, and some people's values change. So maybe you didn't want kids when you were in your early 20s, but now you do. Or maybe you didn't want to travel, but now all of a sudden you have the travel bug, you know? So your values can change. So that is sometimes why people get married, and then they're growing old together, and then all of a sudden this person's like, wait a second, you know, I want to do this, or I want to have kids, or I want to get married, and the other person doesn't want to get married, or, you know, just your values change. So,
and that's where communication comes in.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, it's just like, you know, it's either you compromise, or you give up, you sacrifice for that person, or you don't. So
yeah, but once you guys figure out each other's values, your long-term goals and thinking should be a lot easier, you know. And that's something definitely to discuss before ever, like, moving forward into, like, marriage, or I mean, I guess you can move in together before that, but I mean, that's something you should definitely talk about, maybe like 1 year into the relationship or something, you know.
I definitely think so, especially if you're older. I mean, if you're younger, it's like, I feel like,
well, if you're older, you already know what you want. Like, I feel like the older
if you're
people
25 and plus, no, I'm just joking.
No,
I mean, you guys can make relationships whatever you want it to be, but I
say after 30, though, you should really know what your values are, so you could come into the relationship with that. Because I feel younger people, like, even myself, I'm still learning so much about myself, and you don't know what you want, so you can't be like,
you don't want to know what
I'm
you
19.
Want at all.
When I was 19, I don't even remember what I wanted, but it's probably not what I wanted now, you know. So
it's good to communication comes in play, like we said before, and telling those values. I mean, we talk about our dreams all the time to each other.
They could make, I don't want to call it like a dream board, but like a goal board.
It's a dream board.
Well, goal board.
He wants to say goal board.
Goal board. That's something we do, and we probably update it like once a year. But you kind of like write out what your 5 years goals are or 10-year goals, and like where do we want to live in 5 years? What do we want to have accomplished by then? What do we want to do? And you're not going to meet all these goals, obviously, and you could start it at a shorter term, but it's always a really good, not only a great communication building process, but you really see where the values lie, and it's fun.
Year by year.
Yeah, I'm not just coming up to you like, so where do you want to live in 5 years? Like, I don't know, but if you do it together, it's fun. Like, well, I like warmer weather, so I don't want to go up north. I want to go more south. And it's like, well, I like warmer weather also. So, you start building those values together. And
yeah, it's definitely a good, it's a good, like, amazing communication tool because, like you said, our values change. So in the year, you could be, like, thinking about something else that you kind of just, like, maybe you're on the drive home, you're like, I kind of want to, like, move to Florida, or something, or I want to move down south, like you said. And, like, maybe you're just thinking in your head, and then, if you do this exercise and it's like, okay, well, hey, I was thinking about, like, moving down south. Like, what do you think about this? I just kind of, like, thought about it. But it is a really good tool for communication, and so you guys are on the same track.
So those are our 3 relationship tips, or I don't want to say tips, but what we think are, like, important for relationships, our top 3.
Yep.
We've wound it up on the same 3, so that's
a good sign.
Yeah, that made life a little bit easier. But we will be moving forward to what I think is going to be my favorite part of this segment,
of course,
which is the draft. We're going to pick a topic, and then we're going to choose different, I guess, answers for that topic, and then you guys get to rank which one you believe has the better draft. So, for example, if we're drafting cereals and I name 3 cereals and she names 3 cereals, you guys will get to choose which group of cereals do you like better.
So our draft today is top 3 recreational items you would pick in an apocalypse. So that doesn't mean like I need water, I need food. No, this is just recreational things that you want to carry around with you. You know, you're a lone survivor, right? You're surviving the apocalypse and you want to bring 3 things that are going to entertain you or you're going to be really happy with, you're going to like.
I'm just copying your hand movements.
That you like. Yeah, let's get started. You go first.
What kind of apocalypse is this? Like zombie or like plague? Let's just say everyone disappeared. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, I like that actually.
Yeah, everyone just disappeared. Everyone we're like, all right, we're perfect. Like the last people on Earth.
Perfect. That's how I live life anyway. Yeah. That's what I pretend.
Okay. So my first pick I want is a book, but I don't want to pick a specific book. I want to be able to go to the library or break into other people's houses. Okay. And get books. Is that allowed?
Yeah. So you're just going to like switch out books when you're done with it.
Exactly.
Right. So like, you know how like, what's his name in Zombieland?
Don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, in Zombieland, like the zombie slayer.
The old man?
Yeah, the old man. What is his name?
Tennessee
like
or something? Woody Harris?
Woody Harris, right?
Isn't but I don't know his Zombieland name.
Oh, but he was like obsessed with the Twinkies. It's gonna be like you with the books.
Yeah, but I'm reading the book, switching it out for a book, and then I have a new book. So I have a new book every time I go to a library, which I guess could be whenever I want since I don't have to fear.
We're near somewhere.
Yeah. Huh?
I said if we're near the same place or a library.
Or I'll break into someone's house and take one of their books.
Oh, he's gonna break into your house. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, you better have some good books. So that would be my first choice, if that's cool. If I have to only pick one book, I'll change that. But
all right. So we have books. All right. My draft pick is a bouncy ball.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, I chose a bouncy ball because you know when you're a kid and you just like always like having something to like fidget with, whether it be like a slinky, right? You put it down the stairs, a yo-yo, like throwback. Like you always had like a little rubber. I had a rubber bouncy ball that I would take everywhere with me and just keeps you like entertained.
That's such a good pick.
Yeah,
like when you're just walking around, just like oh, the world is over, bounce.
Well, this one constantly needs to be occupied, so this is probably like his.
My life so
this is like
better.
His dream pick because he can't go 2 seconds with his thoughts.
I don't think I would trade the book for that, but if I would have thought about that, that would have been on my list. Oh. Good pick.
I know.
All right, I know what my second pick is because we're alone and we're not together, right?
No.
No, we're alone. We're the only people on. Don't look at my picks. Trying to steal my picks away from me. You would have thought. I think since we're alone and I'm going to want some type of companionship. So, no. Hear me out. There's no other humans on Earth. So I'm going to want something to live, move around with, walk around with. And I was thinking what could live long. So, dogs don't live that long. Cats don't live that long.
Has to be an item, not an animal.
No, just 3 recreational things.
Items, not animals. If this was an animal, I would have definitely chose a freaking animal. Bro.
So choose your own animal.
What?
Why do you have to copy me? Just choose your own items.
He just makes up.
I'm going to choose a tortoise.
Alright, it was lame anyway. So
no,
who
that's
cares?
a good.
It was so lame.
Listen.
Yo, you are so lame.
Listen.
Tortoises
Tortoises live up to 100 years or longer.
Anthony's saying that like he's like he speaks so proper, but he doesn't.
The reason I chose them is because they'll be able to live my whole life with me. So when I die, then I could just kind of be like, be free, tortoise. But while I'm alive...
Why do you keep saying it like that?
It's not turtle, it's tortoise. Don't worry about... That
doesn't annoy me so much. Stop saying that word.
Don't worry about my pick. So that is my second pick. I have companionship and I have someone I can read the books with.
Guys, this is complete BS. It's items. It's not animals. Anyways, continuing. I'll let that slide.
Do I need to change?
I'll let that slide. No. Pick your tortoise.
You mad because you couldn't pick a horse or something?
Cool. Tortoise. Whatever. Take your turtle with you everywhere.
I will. His is going to be heavy, so I've been thinking about that. That's the only downside. And he doesn't walk fast, so I would be just traveling easily.
You're just literally walking around with the turtle in your arm.
When I sleep,
who do
you get to talk to?
Big?
No, it's a tortoise, so it's a large turtle.
All right, I'm just gonna continue on with this
Do you
conversation.
think I'm choosing a turtle from the stream over there? Look,
but I'm thinking you want to take the turtle with you in your backpack. No, you're picking a big butt turtle to bring with you. That's
actually
huge.
Hold on. All right, how about
this? How are you taking a turtle with you? I mean,
I'm not carrying. He walks on his own. He's like Bulbasaur.
Wow, so you're getting 2 feet a day?
No, I mean. I don't need to go places once I'm near a library. I have unlimited books and a tortoise.
He's gonna leave the tortoise. He's gonna leave not the tortoise, the tortoise. He's gonna leave the tortoise. Okay, he's gonna be like, "Hey, bud, I'll be back in 3 hours." He's gonna come back. The tortoise moved 1 inch.
That's actually not a bad idea. No one's gonna steal him from me. All right, I might choose a smaller turtle just to take in my hand. If there's I believe there's long living small turtles that I could just carry, for 100 years, I would choose that, but I'm just so afraid, I might lose him. The tortoise isn't going nowhere,
Why are you losing him? He's, moving 2 inches an hour.
No, little turtles can move fast.
They can't move that fast.
You don't know.
You guys let us know down below. Who has a turtle as a pet? Let us know.
Yeah, for real. I'm pretty sure they could scurry.
Who's right? Me? No, I don't think they can scurry. No one's doing a scurry. A bug scurries, not a turtle.
When a turtle gets scared, it probably...
Do you guys see what I deal with on a daily basis? This is the arguments we have in the car.
What's your next one? You're so mad about my excellent pick.
All right, so the next one that I have is a sketch pad or a drawing pad, something where I can draw. So
I think that was on my list.
It's on my list right here. But you can't pick it. You can't.
Yo, you stole
I did not steal it. I said sketchpad first. Okay. So I would pick a drawing pad. First of all, yours was journal.
You stole another one of my picks. Get out of here. You can't look at my paper anymore. You're a thief. You're worried about my tortoise. Meanwhile, you're stealing all of my ideas.
No, guys. Drawing pad, that was my idea. So I picked a drawing pad because I like to draw. I can actually draw. So I picked something where I can draw, do my little art. That's what I would pick, Wow. What would you pick, babe? Certainly not a drawing pad.
Wow, that's messed up.
That's messed up.
I can't. That's messed up. I can't. Your mom's gonna watch this.
I know.
Like, oh my gosh. I can't believe you stole my pick. Good thing I took tortoise before you took that. All right, so I actually have my last pick, and it's not as good now that I'm realizing no one else is alive, but no, maybe I'm gonna change it.
Guys, thumbs up if his
I just thought no one else was alive. No one else was alive, so this might not work. All right, so I'm gonna tell you what maybe I'll find like people on the other side of the world. Maybe some people live.
No, you can't just change up the rules because your pick sucks, bro.
Because you stole my pick.
You're the one who picked this world. You're like, oh,
right.
No one lives in the world.
I'm gonna choose. I wrote down a deck of cards, which is great because
He's playing it with his turtle.
No, like I thought like when I'm by myself I could play solitaire, but when I meet other survivors we could play like war, poker, goldfish. Is it goldfish or
There's
goldfish?
No survivors though in this scenario.
Goldfish. Oh man. And then you stole my sketch pad. Oh. Can I pick another animal?
No.
Alright, I'm gonna choose. Alright, I'm gonna choose a deck of cards. I'm sure I could do something with it.
Yeah, I'm sure you could play with yourself.
Oh, what about a basketball?
Yeah, that's fine.
Or is that too similar to ball?
No, you can pick a basketball. I was thinking of a rubber ball. Go ahead, basketball.
I'm gonna choose a deck of cards. I feel like you're trying to trick me. You're gonna steal my deck of cards. No way, Jose.
Can I go?
Yeah.
Alright, so I would pick a CD player. Because I need some music to listen to. Like, I feel like if I have just some, like, indie pop on, and I'm on top of the mountain, and I'm just flowing with the wind, walking by myself, having that CD, runs on batteries, so I could just, like, carry a bunch of batteries with me, you know?
Until they run out.
Well, until they run out, whatever, but I still want to take the CD.
So you're making fun of my picks that are gonna last me my whole entire life. You're picking
yours is gonna last until you get hungry and then you eat the turtle.
No, I'm not gonna eat a turtle. Your 3 picks out of the only 3 things you could take with you for the rest of your life, one of them will end within a few years.
Bro, you picked playing cards in which no one is gonna play with you.
I could play by myself. Oh man, I feel like there's a better pick than that now that I'm thinking about it. I just can't think.
It's too late. So yeah, those are our 3 picks.
Oh, I feel like I messed. You stole my pick and you just threw me over. Oh,
no, guys, don't believe what he says.
For a loop.
Don't believe what he says.
Wow. I still think I had the better choice though. The tortoise ride alone is the ender. You're by yourself with no music for the 50 remaining years you have. I'm chilling with my tortoise. Like a boss.
Mine are so much cooler.
They'll decide.
Alright guys, please comment down below who you think has better 3 items that are recreational in an apocalypse. Is it me or is it Anthony?
No. Just know your CD player will last a few years. Enjoy. If you could even find a CD, that's another thing.
I could listen to
Where are you
the
gonna
same
find
CD.
the CDs? You're gonna call up Apple like,
Where
hey,
are you
can
gonna
you guys
find a book?
In the libraries.
Okay, well
They have books everywhere.
I have tons of CDs.
They have books everywhere.
I have tons of CDs.
No.
Yes, I do. I can listen to the same song over and over again.
That. You're carrying all your little batteries.
I can play over and over.
You better have one good CD.
There's got to be CD somewhere,
You better
guys.
have like the greatest hits.
Will be.
Well, all right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed Romance is Dead. This is episode 1. We will be coming out with a new episode every single week. If you have any thoughts or ideas of how we could maybe rearrange this is our first episode. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of changes that we'll take that make it better, hopefully.
Yeah,
maybe make it worse.
So.
We don't know. But we're willing to try those new changes. And if you have any questions for us, you know, send us in the Would You Rathers. Yeah, and enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll let you finish.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe down below, comment, put that notification bell on. If you guys have any suggestions, please put them in the comments below. We appreciate all you guys for watching, and this will be uploaded by every Sunday by 8 p.m. So we're really excited for you guys to be part of this series, and thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.